Don't put it on the church page, you put it on private. You're going from both, right?
All right, we done already prayed, so let's get the video going. Let's do it. Any questions before we get started?
What's tonight's gonna be about?
You see, I can't tell you this. Yeah, you got to watch it for yourself. Yeah.
Your match made in heaven.
While you doing that, Lamar.
Once upon a time, Lily is
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to New Life Tabernacle Praise. Thank you for joining us tonight. Go ahead and click that link. We're getting right into our video tonight, and hope you enjoy yourself.
Your match made in heaven.
Okay. Anything else?
She's willing to work with people that's less fortunate than her, and she has an open heart and an open mind.
Okay. All right. All right.
I do have a question.
Use the mics, y'all, so the
Oh, I forgot.
I'm gonna have a question because I don't know, but from what I've been taught and experienced, drug and alcohol treatment, 99% of the people are victims of either using it or in the household of it. So for her to choose drug and alcohol treatment, there had to be some way that it affected her to be able to choose and lead that type of group.
excellent observation. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. Where is this taking place?
In Ohio, actually.
Yep. This pastor that she was under is a Facebook friend of mine. I almost fainted today when I saw it. But anything else before we finish? Anything else?
They were both in ministry.
Okay. All right. That's good. I think you said something.
They're totally different backgrounds.
You got the mic? You didn't have the mic?
Oh.
Totally different background. Now, everybody say this word because we're going to harp on this word tonight. Suitable. Keep that word. Write it down if you need to. We're going to work on that word tonight. All right? No, that's all right. All right, anybody else before we resume? Mom, you got something? Let's see. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. That's all right. Let's go back to it. Did you have something? No. Oh, okay.
It happened with my cousin. She died last year. She's 85 years old. She had a prison ministry. She was divorced. The guy got out. She let him come and move in with her.
So what you telling me is she gave someone in prison her address.
When she went to see,
I need you to say that.
well, I mean, obviously she had to.
Yeah. No. I need you to say that. Let me tell y'all something. Half of acknowledging red flags is saying it. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Say it
She
for
had
me.
a shelter.
Hold on. I need you to say that, what I just said. Say she gave
She gave him her address.
She
a
gave-
man in prison her address.
She gave him her address.
Now,
But she had also a homeless shelter.
because now I need you, watch this. The reason I need you to say that, I need you to hear how ridiculous that sounds.
Right.
And not just you, I'm just talking about in general.
In general.
I need y'all to hear this stuff. That we have minimized through the years, thinking this is God.
Okay, so she had a homeless shelter.
Mhm.
So when he came out, she tried, she was, obviously she let him come and stay at the homeless shelter. And then from there, I don't know how they developed this relationship, but, the county was the county administrators were saying they would never put a woman over a prison ministry for that very reason.
I could understand it if it's men, but I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it if it's a woman's ministry, right?
No, simply because the men play on these women. They're in jail, and they write to these women, and they telling them they problems, and these women, low self-esteem, young or old,
Yes, ma'am.
they fall for it because they lonely. She was divorced. She had very low self-esteem.
You just said it. Now you said it. See how free you is now? You said it. Now you got once you got that one thing out the way that needed to be. Y'all listen. There is a logic to this.
Gotcha.
How many of y'all have been afraid to admit certain things to yourself, as it relates to relationships or whatever? Once you opened your mouth and said what needed to be said, clarity came unto you. This goes for males and females. Seriously, this is one of our biggest problems. Who else? Go ahead, Sister Tina.
Well, that was going to be my point. She's 43 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Women,
How old was she again?
43 years old.
Excellent.
Women have this timetable, whether they're in ministry or wherever they are. Oh, I need a husband. Oh, I need to be married. And also, to your point, she put her address on the letters that she was writing to the guy in prison.
Once again, y'all, let's say it one more time. She gave her address
She gave her address
to a man in prison.
to a man in
prison.
Now, y'all gonna hear me say this every week. All examples are imperfect. All examples are imperfect. Because you may know somebody, I may know somebody who that did work out for. But that's the exception. That's not the rule.
Right.
Yes.
And I have a question, not that it matters, but I wonder now. Because we didn't see. Sorry, I was trying to see.
Yes. I know.
I
you
can't
clean your
hear, but I
glasses.
can't see, so I was trying to clean my glasses. No, if it said it, I am sitting back, so I don't know, but, was the letter addressed to him, was it addressed to an inmate? 'Cause that makes a
Directly to
difference.
him.
To him.
So she chose him to write to him.
I guess so, yeah, they was pen pals right on. You know, that happens a lot today.
I'm asking it because of their pen pals, he already had the information, so I don't know, I thought she was just part of the
Well,
ministry
back
writing a
then,
generic letter.
I
to
guess
someone.
at that time, they was just writing letters. But understand, now, you know what they do? They, what's the thing, the video, you see each other on the phone? Well, FaceTime, and then what's another name for it?
Video.
The Zoom.
Zoom, or whatever it is. Yeah, they doing that kind of stuff now. You see what I'm saying? And they talk, and listen, here's my thing. That is just, aside from it being dangerous, think about this, we'll deal with it after this is over. What is it in us? I say us because men have done it too. What is it in us that seemingly refuses to deal with the fact that this is somebody who I probably shouldn't deal with because they're not on the same life path I'm on? And they're not bringing to the table nowhere near what I'm bringing to the table. I ain't talking about money. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about your upbringing, your class, your everything. Why do we want to date people who are at a disadvantage? We'll deal with that later. Let's hear it. here's my saying. Y'all ready for this? I want what I want.
Come on now.
Now, my church people, y'all gonna be able to relate to this. How many times did church people make you feel bad because you didn't necessarily like somebody?
Yep.
Look at somebody say, he telling the show no truth.
Come on now. Keep it real.
Let me tell you, I saw it firsthand growing up. And I saw people shamed. Because, oh, you don't want to date, you ought to be shamed. Say, you don't want to date Deacon so-and-so. He ain't got 3 teeth in his mouth, his breath stink. He's a mechanic. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with being a mechanic, but he a backyard mechanic, so that means he ain't got benefits. You get what I'm saying? I have an issue with the church. I got an alt against the church for making me feel like I didn't want somebody and just, oh, they saved, you ought to be saved. So what? Just because you saved don't mean you sexy. Y'all, if y'all want somebody that ain't gonna tell y'all the truth, y'all go find somebody else. I'm gonna tell it like it is because you're not gonna never
That's why
live
they
here.
making bad decisions.
Say it again?
But what if that's why they're making bad decisions?
That's not why. The
A lot of
reason
people
that
make bad
let me
decisions
tell
because they
you, one
love.
way or the other, but the reason primarily in the church that bad decisions are made is because a lot of times we let other church people influence our decisions. Now, am I telling the truth?
I do agree with that, but I think I'm not gonna just say it's just a time now.
I mean, it can work either way.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of people make decisions based on how people look, and that's why they're making bad decisions.
Oh, I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, I do. It's not, but watch this though. It's not just looks. But don't act like they don't matter. Now, to some, they may matter more than others.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you go down south, they don't really, they're not like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not really like that down south. In fact, when I was young and dating down south, they was like, I remember, ooh, look at him, he's a fine man. This dude come into church, his stomach out here and all that. And they, ooh, he's a fine man. That's fine to them. Whereas up here, you see what I'm saying? So it's preference. It is preference. And you can't just judge a book by its cover, but don't act like the cover don't matter. Because if you ever been to the library, it was the cover that drew you to the book.
But what
Yes.
if that's how she made this decision?
We finna find out. Let's get this in.
The first one is attraction does matter. Regardless whether it's a sexual attraction, physical attraction,
I like that.
intellectual attraction. Attraction needs to occur
Yes.
for you to gain my attention.
Amen.
But back to what you were saying about the church and they shaming people, and it's the opposite side too, because the church will sometimes force marriage down your throat without the teaching behind it as well.
Did
So
she
that
just say
was
that, y'all? Yes, give her a hand on that. 'Cause that has been a big problem in the church. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, because me and Brother Murray, we have talked about this for years. The church will quickly tell a man, the husband, that you are the head. But they did not teach us how to be.
There you go.
You understand? Other than just working and this, that, and the other. It's a whole lot more to being a husband and being the head. You know what I'm saying? And then the word head, believe it or not, in Hebrew does not mean what we think. It don't mean you the H-E-N-I. It don't mean that. It don't mean that like that. We'll get to that a little later. But let's finish this up real quick. Thank y'all for your input. See how much better it is when we stop? Y'all
Dr. Cummings?
He had on a black shirt and a purple tie. Keep that in mind. Everybody say black and purple.
Black and
All
purple.
right, keep that in mind. You were gonna say something real quick?
She said.
Microphone.
She said.
Microphone.
I'm trying to remember, you said that you threw me off with that color,
Microphone, that's why I came in here, I couldn't hear nobody.
okay. Now, I was thrown off by the color, but she said that, the last thing she said was about him with his, I can't.
Okay. It'll come back to you. Y'all notice how she came outside and did what?
Shut the door.
Go ahead. Y'all on it. Go ahead.
That she represents stability for him, that's what they said. They said when he got out, he was looking for a home.
So he wasn't looking for a life partner. He was
He
looking
was
for
looking
a
for a
lifeline. Yep. Now, as you can see, this is a thing for her. Let me turn.
Turn it on or off?
I thought I was turning it on and turned it off. It's on now. As y'all can see now, you see a pattern developing with her. Okay? Ex-cons. Being in prison. I do realize that this is kind of to your point, what you all were talking about. That there are those males and females who for whatever reason got this thing for dangerous people. Let me tell you, I'll just be quite frank with you. You need to get delivered from that. Male or female, you need to get delivered from that. I'm not saying you want nobody boring like Ted Koppel, you know, but what you need to do is you need, before you get serious about dating and trying to find somebody to spend the rest of your life with, you need to get some things, some soul searching done within yourself. Some counseling. Why I look like every boy I date? I'm just thrilled with tattoos and just,
Add boy and
Yeah, that's bad. Yes.
Quite frankly, Pastor, they're easy. Now, she's a woman of the church. She hasn't been chosen by anybody out of the church. You get what I'm saying? This woman's 43 years old now.
Is she a woman of the church?
Well, they said she was. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So, if she was a fine, upstanding woman, she had her morals, she had her heart, but she wasn't chosen, obviously.
Did she have her morals?
I don't know. Because what I do know, though, I do know bad boys are easy to find.
See, now, what I want to do with this one, I'm going to tell you why I ended up, there's a number of reasons why I chose this one. But one of the things that I really want to do with this one, because once again, I'm not just teaching this in general across the board for society. We're teaching this specifically for the church. Do you understand? And if I'm going to teach it for the church, there are certain things regarding church and a relationship with God that need to be pointed out. Okay? Now, I don't want to give anything away just yet, but I will tell you this. Thus far, we see a young lady who goes to church. All right? How am I doing?
Yes.
How does the Bible put it? She has a form, right? Denying the, all right?
Maybe that's why she helped out so much too.
Well, yeah, you got good-hearted people out here, regardless of whether they in church or not. You got good-hearted people out here. You understand what I'm saying? Let's keep it real now. And she seems to be a good-hearted person. Look what she did. She gave up her acting career in L.A. to move back home to Akron to help her mother who was ailing. You got some good-hearted people out here. But the reality is she has an issue evidently. Who said it? That's the right word. That a fetish evidently for ex-cons. You got to deal with that kind of stuff. All right, let's go ahead.
When people use the mic, please put it closer to your mouth, please.
All right. thinking right about now? Just no, seriously. Where is her headspace right about now? Things
The
are
world. She on top of the
She
world.
feel
Okay.
like he's on track now, that he's fully coming in full circle with changing his ways.
okay, all right,
She got rid of the other guy.
right.
And now he's the one. He's like a Prince Charming. Stupid.
As it compared to the other guy, right? Right? Yes, sir.
Is at that point where, like you see, she has a tendency for men that are coming from prison. Her headspace seemingly is still following the trend that says, I have to substitute this for that. And I feel like she's in the substitution stage where she substituted one man for another at another level.
Okay. How? Yes.
What was the comparison?
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. And the two of them have what in common?
Prison.
Watch it. And this is an issue. This is a red flag with individuals because she has not acknowledged you don't have, it seems like you got a guy that was better than the guy you had. But at the end of the day, both of these guys came from the same place. So you have not improved yourself. She has not discovered her red flags. When you keep making the same, it can be a different guy or different woman, but you keep choosing from the same category. You have not discovered your red flag. That part. Now, how many men have we seen her with so far? Play it. Your patterns. All right? You done move one ex-convict out. Now you move it. And let's just be honest. They're not, we're not saying that they aren't good choices because they were ex-convicts. You can make them kind of ridiculous choices with men that ain't never been to prison a day in their life. But there's something wrong. I have a family member. How's that? I was young. I was in my teens. And I could see this woman keep choosing the same man. They just had different names, but she was choosing the same men. He want to beat you just like the last one want to beat you. I'm going to have to kill him just like, look, you got to see yourself. You got to see what you're doing. Some of that, can I be 100? Some of that comes from how you was raised. You saw that. Your parent did that. So you do that. This is why the church has a huge responsibility now. Because unfortunately, we got to shine that light. Now, the daddy was there to discover her body. But if you remember at the opening of this, whatever this is, this video, that she was raised exclusively by her mama. That plays a role in women making bad choices. Now, I got another family member. Everybody say this is another family member. I asked them, I said, what was you thinking? You couldn't see that that boy was a faggot? I said it just like that. I'm just repeating me. You couldn't see that this boy was gay? What is wrong with you? I don't understand that. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to, look, I'm teaching this because I love you. I want to see the church, I want to see relationships and marriages in the church healthy. Because if relationships and marriages are healthy, then the church is healthy. Do you not know that 60% of people in church that are married are unhappy? Let me say that again. 60% of the people in church that are married are unhappy. Yes.
Unless they are public successes
And
but
private failures. That's it. That's
put
it.
on the show and
They
they're in front of everybody else.
That's right.
When we get in the church parking lot on the way pulling out,
Mhm.
it's another story.
Oh, I seen a couple go at it in the church parking lot. She was jabbing him up. She was. I'm not lying. I promise to God, I'm not lying. Yes. Mm-hmm.
For us to speak to our children
Mm-hmm.
about marriage, because what example do they really have, honestly, outside the Bible?
And we gotta work on that.
Place where we're talking to him about marriage, and he's like, "Why?
That's it.
Show me your life." And it hit me off guard because I don't know nothing my son's baby room, and he was like, "No, we're fine."
Yeah. Yeah.
He showed me somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in Cleveland, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
where it's functioning and okay.
And that's the whole. My couple. I'll say this, and we get back to the show. Couple years ago in the summer, our bishop was here. He and I went out to lunch. We just sitting there casually talking, and he asked me. He flat out. He says, "How's your marriage?" I said, "It's fine." I didn't have a problem with him asking me that question. When you submit yourself up under somebody, that is why you do that, because everybody needs checks and balances. Do you understand? If you need to be answerable to somebody. Otherwise, God will not bless the work of your hands. Y'all understand that? So when he asked me that question, I said, it's fine. I said, we growing. And I said, you can tell in a marriage, if you've been married long enough, you know, after a while, your relationship, it gets closer. Your conversation gets better. Y'all start finishing. Let me tell you, when you get to that place where y'all start finishing one another's sentences, you own to something. It don't mean you perfect. You still got to keep working on it until the day you die. Let's be clear. But, and I told him, he said, the reason I ask you that question, he said, is because if your marriage does not succeed, the church won't succeed. Plain and simple. If you can't love your wife, you can't pastor. That's it. Not effectively. You can't love your bride, but you're going to try to love somebody else's. Because what is the church? The bride of? That part. All right.
said she was from Akron, man. That's what she sees. So that's what she.
What does her being from Akron have to do with that? That happens everywhere.
Well, no offense, mostly places is like that. They date people like that.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this to you, and I mean, you know, I love you, don't you? You young. You ain't been nowhere yet. I mean, you been somewhere, but you have yet to know. Can I just tell you? Can I be transparent for a minute? Florida, Georgia, Dallas, Virginia, North Carolina, brother. I can tell you, they like that everywhere.
But I'm talking about the environment, not just the city.
Like the desperation. But think about this, though. She was in L.A. She had made it, for all intents and purposes, she had made it out. Let's assume Akron, no offense if you're listening from Akron. But let's just say, for sake of argument, Akron is like that place where I got to get out of here. She had made it out. She was an actress in L.A., is that right? The only reason she came back there, she did not come back there because she had to. She came back there because her mother was ailing. So she came back to take care. You know what I'm saying? So we're not dealing with somebody. Let's say your argument is valid. We're not dealing with somebody that fits that argument. All right? Because she made it out. You see what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. There are some people who get trapped. They will say they can't go nowhere, but the truth is they don't want to put forth the effort that it takes to get. You see what I'm saying? But she had made it out. But what you're looking at here, watch this now. You're looking at a young lady who got a whole lot of baggage. Can we agree on that? She got a whole lot of baggage. For some reason, she is drawn to men who are dangerous. Let's categorize it like that. Because even if the husband, who she's still married to, even if he ain't been to prison, he finna go because he committing polygamy. Did you hear her say that he told her that, no, I can't give you no divorce because I'm married again. And if I give you this divorce and them papers are filed, they gonna know that I'm committing polygamy. Isn't that what it is? Polygamy? Bigamy? One of them? And so that's a felony. You can go to prison for that. You see what I'm saying? And if you tell, I'm gonna beat you. Ain't that what he said? Yeah. And why did she say she wasn't with him no more? So we see, okay.
But Pastor, you can get a divorce without your husband's permission. I mean, you got.
Yes, you can. But his point was, was that once she filed that paperwork, it's gonna mess up what he got going on now. Now, evidently, she was still afraid of him. Yeah. So watch this. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, fellas, let me help y'all with something. Don't get involved with no woman that's got stuff like all that going on. That's too much baggage. Wait a minute. Say it again.
The little fella didn't know that until he.
I agree with you. So guess what? Guess what his problem was?
Not doing his homework.
He moved too fast. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the biggest problems. Because we let our loneliness rush us into making decisions that we be sitting back later on going, I wish I had known that. All you got to do is slow down. Oh, he sitting up there talking. He married, baby. We waited 3 years. We did not jump right up and get married. Even though, let me say this, day one, everybody say day one. When I laid eyes on her, I knew I wanted to marry her. You understand? And I probably made my intentions known by about year 2. But we didn't jump up and get married. Because it's more than love. It's more than a feeling. And look at your neighbor real quick and say, stop letting church people tell you that it's better to marry than to burn. Not that I'm not telling you to fornicate. Here's why I'm telling you to say that. Because first of all, they're using that scripture out of context. When Paul said it's better to marry than to burn, he wasn't talking about horny folk. Hello? Paul was saying it's better for you to marry than to die and go to hell and burn because you was committing fornication. You get what I'm saying? He puts the emphasis on your perspective on eternal life, not just living from day to day. It's a bigger picture. You understand that? If we would learn, let me be honest now, like I told you, we got to bring this into the church. We're bringing this into the church. If we would learn to control ourselves, discipline ourselves, fast and pray as we should, even about relationships. Lord, he handsome, but I hear your word saying, in all my ways, acknowledge you. Y'all scared God, we scared God gonna say no. That's what's wrong. But if you think that, that's all the more reason for you to wait. Because anything God don't say yes to, I don't care how good it's going. Eventually, it's going to blow up in our faces. How many witnesses? I'm going to raise my hand. I know that's the truth. Did you have something? Go ahead. Oh.
Say, Paul, with that specific scripture, we also have to consider who he was talking to. He was also talking to the early church, and they were always on the road traveling, and having a family just did not make sense in that context. So he was like, well, I guess you can get married so that you don't sin, but it's better for you to be single because this
He
is
did say that. He did say that.
Yeah.
He now specific, and I love the way you brought that out. Now, what specific church was he talking to when he said that? I'll help y'all out. It was the most immoral. That's right. Everybody say they was the most gifted and the most anointed, but they were also the most immoral. What does that tell us? It does not matter how anointed. So don't you be making no relationships based on somebody's anointing. Oh, he can preach. That's my husband. Stop that. Seriously. Stop all of that. Because can I help y'all out with something? The greater the anointing, the greater their attack. That's real. That's real. You better know what you're signing up for. Girl, he pastor. Yeah, okay, First Lady. You go deal with all these sisters trying to slide into his DM. And y'all better hear me when I say, my wife done had to get a couple people straight through the years. Seriously. Y'all understand? It's like that. It ain't about, look, Bishop Jakes I love him. He's not handsome. Somebody say amen. My mother, when Bishop Jakes first came out, all they had was like the cassette tapes. So all you could hear was his voice. And my mother heard his voice one time, I'm talking about my real mother up in Connecticut. He sounds sexy. I said, Ma. She said, bring me the video. I said, Ma, you might want to stick with the cassette tapes. Bring me the video, boy. I took the video up there one time. We went up to visit in Connecticut. I took the video up there. I turned it on. As soon as she saw it, she said, oh, S. Just turn it on. I said, listen. But despite that, despite the fact that they be at him,
For sure.
because the Bible said they desire the precious soul. That's what it said about the whorish woman. It desires the precious soul. It almost relates it to a monkey in Africa. They will climb up to the top of what's that fruit? coconut. They'll climb up to the top of the coconut tree and find the best coconut and just take it and throw it down. Break it open and drink all the juice and be through with it. They desire the precious soul. I got a friend right now who's incarcerated, in another city and state. He's not really a friend. His father was my friend. But long story short, y'all, he got involved with a transgender person. And he didn't want his family to find out because, they was apostolic. And he just didn't want them to find out. And the boy said, I'm going to tell it now. He said, because I just wanted to be able to say I had you. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? There are some people that are like that. That's why you got to be careful. You think you finna fall in love. They just want to conquer. Ladies especially, hear that. Men are hunters by nature.
I know some.
That's why one of my favorite, y'all pray for me, because one of my favorite songs, Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay, our Savior. I got to leave. Every time I hear that, when we go to some function, sometimes they get to play it, I got to go. Got to go. Yes. Yeah. You go ahead.
Someone that happened to, we went to school together, very nice young lady. And she shared with me that I thought she had a nice husband, and she's like, nope. In the end, she eventually said that everybody in the department knew that she was an older woman that was still a virgin, and he only wanted her.
See?
Because of that.
See?
Married her, and they made bets saying that
See that?
he wouldn't get her.
See?
He told them guys at the job he would, and he went as far as to marrying her.
Wow.
And then she had a child with him.
And that's another thing y'all need to know. When it comes down to men, ladies, when it comes down to men, thank you. They will do anything. They will go as far as they need to go. Yes. All right, let's finish this.
He didn't know. He couldn't know. Yeah, he didn't know.
He would have asked them for counseling first.
Right, right. Watch for your soul. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. You want to do? Yeah, yeah.
It is your life. And I am going to marry you because you fit the requirements. This is the requirements are. Male.
Female.
Ooh, did he say that? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because the Bible tells me not the Lord. Watch this. Let me tell you what the Bible tells the pastor. The Bible tells the pastor not the Lord over the heritage. Look at somebody say that means the pastor cannot control you.
That's right.
I can't control the decisions. I can't control. But watch this. I don't marry you just because
Somebody else will.
look, how many of you gonna do
What they want to do. Yeah.
that's evident right here? They gonna make God accept it. Y'all ain't talking to me.
Wow.
Never mind the preacher. Never mind that I'm still in a marriage.
Right.
Is it on? Never mind. We gonna do it. Watch this. Our way. And this is one of the biggest problems with people dating today. We are determined to fit. Let me tell you all about this. You might want to write this down. Religion is man determined to fit God into his plan. That's what religion is. Religion is man, meaning mankind, being determined to fit God into his plan. Right. Salvation, holiness, total surrender is me saying, God, your will be done. Not my will, but thy will. Y'all understand that? And this, yeah, she went to church, but look at somebody and say she ain't got no word in her. I ain't gonna miss this. I ain't gonna miss this. This is the biggest problem in the church today. We got people who are considered proselytes. Y'all know what a proselyte is? They'll join the church. They'll change churches, but they won't change themselves. Y'all understand? And as soon as the pastor makes a decision or says something or preaches something that they don't like, they're going to proselyte and head somewhere else. Because here's the bottom line. They want God to okay their plan. They don't care nothing about his plan. Yes.
Marthas, the Marys and the Marthas in the church. You got the Marthas that's just working, but you got the Marys that's doing the will. So you got the permissive will, what you're talking about here. God say, yeah, you want this? Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna permit it, but it's not his perfect will.
That ain't even his permissive will.
Okay,
This right here.
I shouldn't say permissive will.
Check this out.
They wanted it, so she wanted it.
They just trying to do it their way. That's all that is. This ain't it. Look. Let me tell you something. Never mind the preacher. Never mind witnesses. Never mind God. We just got a Frank Sinatra spirit. We're going to do it our way. Yes.
To show thyself approved, because he's the only God. She is the only God that he knows. So when we're out here, we're a representation of God. He may be the only God that anybody sees and knows. So if we don't study that thing for ourselves, then we can be led astray.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But now, this child, watch this. There's a difference between going to church, all right, and actually sitting up under a shepherd. Y'all hear me? Or and then let's take it a step further. It is also imperative that you not just sit up under a shepherd, but that you sit up under good teaching. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Let's finish this and then we'll oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I just wonder if the pastor had any second thoughts when he showed up at their apartment, and because
let me just help you with that real quick. If that had been me, if that pastor, we want you to come to the house and bless our house, why y'all living together? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you why I would ask that question. It ain't because I'm nosy. I ain't nosy. I don't even care like that. I got a life. But let me tell you what the Bible said. Be not partaker of other men's sins. So if I come up in there and I know y'all ain't legally married and you wants me to bless the house, that makes me a partaker. Do y'all understand that? And God gonna sure enough get me. Ask me why? Because to whom much is given. Look at somebody say, you got to know that word. You got to know your word. If you don't know your word, you're going to get put in some compromising situations like this. I'm not so desperate to have you as a member that you're going to have me messed up with God for some foolishness like that. I ain't coming. These is questions I'm finna ask you before we even get to your house. Hey, because if you say, Pastor, watch this, we want you to come and bless her. Who's we, white man? That's what I want to know first. Who is we? Oh, y'all living together? No, we got married. Oh, who married you? Let me see the certificate. Why you got to see the certificate? Because the Bible said, here we go again, prove all things. If you ask me, Pastor, we don't believe you and Lady Trish married, can we see? Sure, go get this. I'll be right back. I'm going to the house. Prove. If you come in, well, it used to be, it will be again, but if you come in my office for counseling, the first thing I show people is my license. Because I want you to know I ain't no jackleg. Do y'all understand that? You ain't a counselor just because you got a clergy on, boo-boo. You don't just marry, a lot of the older saints can attest to this, you don't just marry somebody because you in the ministry. You got to have a license. You got to be licensed by the state of Ohio. That's why they say, by the power vested in me. Y'all ain't paying me no mind. The Bible said, obey the laws of the land. Just can't be right. I'm called to preach. That's why. No, fool. You ain't got no business marrying nobody. Sit down. You can go to prison for that. Andre Crouch went to jail for that. Back in the 80s, on Valentine's Day, he married like 100 couples. It was in Jet magazine, because Jet don't exist no more, but You can Google it, I'm sure. He married like 100 couple, and they sent him to jail. Because he ain't had no license to solemnize no marriage. None of them was legally married. If you don't get a preacher who had, listen, it don't have to be me. I ain't going to hold it against you, because that's just one less marriage that I got to be responsible for, Lord. But look, if you do get married, whoever marry you, ask them to show you their license it's called to solemnize marriages. Okay? Don't be just standing up there, we in love, and you ain't legally married. All right? That part. Yep. Let's finish this up. Y'all enjoying this? we're gonna stop it right there. He got life for this, needless to say. But y'all see this, right? Y'all see this? Red flags. Red flags. Watch this. Sometimes the red flags are in us. You understand? She had an affinity for these types of guys. You know, that'll do you in. That'll do you in. Yes.
I just want to say Tony was like a converted. You have the first husband
Mhm.
that physically beat her, and
Mm.
it seemed as if he wasn't ashamed of what he did,
Mhm.
whether it was publicly in the house, whatever. Then you have Matt,
Mhm.
who for whatever reason experienced tragedy, and he was maybe abusive verbally, not necessarily physically.
Mhm.
But then you have Tony, who was a conversion of them both. It was, which made him more deadly because he's a Mac, but he knows how to hide it and be chameleon in front of people and not come off as the first husband.
Yeah, that's good. Now watch this. That's a good observation. We don't know about the first husband, but what else did those two guys have in common? Huh? Yeah, they were controlling, but there was one other thing that the two of those guys had in common that they weren't doing. Neither one of them had a job. Let me just say this, and we're gonna close. Go ahead. Say what you got.
Where was the family, either one of those guys? You never seen no family for either one of those.
Good observation.
In her house.
That is, and that's important. Cause do you see how standoffish he was with her family?
Right.
Y'all, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Don't be sitting up there making excuses for him. He just shy. He ain't talking. He introverted. That's a red flag. Let me help you this. If your family don't like him, that's a red flag. Pay attention to it. All right? Now, last thing I'm going to say is simply this. She was so desperate to be with somebody that she followed their lead to a fault. That's how come I know she didn't have no word in her. He definitely didn't have no word in him. You understand? Now, the old pastors, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of stuff that they did, but I do understand it. But I just don't believe in getting in people's business. This is why I teach it. You can't never say he didn't teach it. You can't never say he didn't. But because I'm not going to be pulling you and say, hey, you need to let me meet them. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I love y'all, but look at somebody and say, he is not doing that. I'm not going to get in your business like that. You grown. You is smart. You grown. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be sitting there like, Lord, help him. I told him, Lord, you got to help. That's it. You can't make people do nothing. You can't. I seen pastors lose their marriage trying to save other folks' marriage. This would not be my testimony. Oh, go ahead, Samantha. Yes. Excellent. These are all, do y'all see, this is serious. There's a lot that we all have to take into consideration. Well, how can we get all this stuff? I got one remedy for you. Watch this. Take your time. Quit letting, look, that part. Look, I did not make the decision to marry my wife till I wanted to see what her relationship was with her father. That is, I waited until I saw that to decide, well, I knew I wanted, watch this, it's a big difference in wanting to marry somebody. and thinking you should do this.
Absolutely.
You understand? It's not always about your desires. Is this a good thing for me? She took great care of her dad, took him to his doctor's appointment, made sure fussed at him. Y'all see how she be fussing at me? That's how she fussed at him about taking his medication and stuff. When I saw that, then I saw how she took care of her aunt. She would go over. One day she would go shopping for her father. The next couple days later that week, she'd go shopping for her aunt. I joined right on in. I got to shoveling auntie's snow and walk to the stove sometime with Papa. That's what you're looking for. You ain't looking for that guy to, hey, I'll be here when you get back. Hello? You can't be so unwilling. Look, let me just put it to you bluntly. You cannot be so unwilling to be lonely that you accept that kind of behavior. Yeah, and you making don't y'all. Now, let me tell you, I do believe in minding my own business. But if I ever see any of my members, Kim, if I see you pumping gas and this nigga sitting there, I'm going to clown. You're going to be like, that's my pastor, but don't say nothing. I'm going to clown. My wife had to get me together because let me tell you what I used to do. We would go to the gas station and I'd be out pumping gas. It's wintertime. And I'll see a dude sitting in the passenger seat with the seat back. And the girl out there, I go knock on the window. What's wrong with you? She was like, will you please stop before somebody shoots you? But to me, that's a pathetic shame. Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. There you go. And I've seen... But you hit it right on the head. It's teaching. You hit it right on the head. It is teaching. Listen, y'all. That part. For those of you ladies that don't know, let me explain something to you. Boys do not grow up to become men by osmosis. Do you understand? The spirit of masculinity has to be transferred. That's why the father is so important. Or a male figure, a stepfather, a grandfather, somebody that, as David put it in the Bible, and y'all tell him I'm using Bible, you need somebody that pisseth against the wall. Now, those of y'all that know I just use Bible, please tell these people I use Bible so they don't think I'm just out here talking crazy. Do y'all understand? I told y'all I was dating a woman one time, and she had a little boy, and go to the bathroom. Boy went in the bathroom, Linda, he put the seat down, said that girl, I was so disgusted. I ain't know what to do. I said, oh no, we can't do this. It has to be taught. It does not just happen. Stop thinking that. Stop thinking that every good-looking male you see is a man. How pretty you think you are, they might not want you. Y'all hear me? This is real. This is real out here. We're going to stop for one more thing, and we're going to stop.
What you're saying about...
Let's worship the Lord and give him real quick.
Especially with a lot of us being... Well, I was a mother raising 2 boys and 1 girl.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure that I was rough on the boys when they did things wrong. And I let them know what things that they shouldn't do to a woman. Because I said, I'm a woman. You wouldn't want to see anybody doing that to me. And then I also told them what things a woman like. But I made sure they stayed with their uncles.
There you go.
Both grandfathers.
That is.
And
that
I mean,
is.
I started it at a young age.
You
and
ladies.
Then, we had a neighbor on the street named Mr. Carter. He kept my youngest son up under him all the time. Carnell know how to cook real good because Mr. Carter was a chef. And he saw Mr. Carter do a lot of things. But my boys learned real quick. Mama shouldn't be shoveling no snow. Mama shouldn't be taking out no trash. Mama shouldn't do this. And if I did those things, I did it because they wasn't here. And it just came natural for me because I was a housekeeper.
That's it.
But they knew it was their job. I
That's
never
it.
had to tell them to take
That's
the
it.
clothes down on the
That's
weekend.
it. That's it.
Never
And
did.
It is so important. The Bible tells us in Genesis, everything produces after its own kind. That, he said, everything produces after its own kind. So listen, and this is, I understand how life is right now. We don't have a lot I get it. I had a talk with a young man here a couple of weeks ago. I had to share some things with him from a perspective of having spent time. I was raised primarily by my dad, but I did spend my early teen years with my mother. And my mom worked 2 jobs. She worked at Federal Reserve Bank during the day and Cleveland Clinic during the night. And the reality was, there were a lot of times that I would get frustrated and mad. How come I can't have this? My friends got this. I didn't, when you're young, you don't understand. You ain't got but one parent, and they got, you know what I'm saying? Everything is on them. So I told him, I said, look, you appreciate your mother for what she's doing for you. All you got is her, and all she got is you. You appreciate, and I got great respect for that. But those of us who have male figures in our lives, uncles, brothers, hey, get my son and take him out, throw him down, pick him back up, toughen him up. Y'all understand? Because ladies, watch this. I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I mean I'm going to leave you with this. When you pet and rub that boy, I'm about to hit y'all hard. I'm about to hit you hard. You turning him into the man you don't want for another woman. That's what you doing. When you make him soft as funeral home music. If you know, wait a minute now, if you know you don't want that kind of man, why would you turn your son into that kind of man for another woman? Yes.
That's what I was going to say. I read this magazine article a long time ago. It says most women raise their sons to be men that they themselves would not even want to date.
That is. That is. That is. That is. And we don't think like that. My dad said, my job is to prepare y'all for life when I'm gone. He told me, he said, I'm not your father, I'm not your friend. I am your father. I hear his voice right now. Your wife should never have to shovel snow. Your wife should never have to take the garbage out in the dark. Ever. I can hear that. Yeah, I can hear him. I can hear him. The reality is, if that's not taught, ain't no need of you expecting it. Thank y'all for coming in. I give yourselves a hand. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Y'all enjoyed this one? This has been the best one yet, wasn't it? I told y'all it was heavy. Now next week, we're going to change ethnicities so y'all don't think it's just happening with us. All right? Father, we thank you, we love you, we praise you, we give your name praise and glory. God, we thank you for this lesson, and we pray, God, tonight that as we leave from this place but not from thy presence, that you take us home safely, keep us in your care, watch over us and protect us and give us a blessed week. Bless the offering, God, multiply the seed sown, give seed to the sower.